I think ExtraEmily had a very good first impression, but I think it was just because right off the bat she was just like the super bubbliest girl ever, and we had a whole day, and she opened up so fast. Like, there was no, like, prying. She just went, blah, 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 Leslie, can I talk to you about this and that? And then I'm like, actually, is this too much to say right now? I'm like, oh, my God, yeah, no, go ahead. And she's like, okay, so I have this problem with blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, wow, have you ever done this? And I think it's because she kind of saw me as, like, a mentor right off the bat, so she opened up to me about a lot of, like, things. And then I kind of, like, she, like, would have problems with, like, she'd encounter a streaming issue or a sponsor or something, or then she'd call me. She's like, can I call you right now? She's like, okay. So I'm running into, I was like, young Padawan, sit down. Many a year ago, I encountered a similar issue, and here's how I dealt with it. Yeah, and then she's like, "Thank you so much." But it's really cute. She'll like call me and she'll like ask for advice, and I'm like, wow. Ellum? What about Ellum? First impression on Ellum? Ellum. I mean, I met him through Saikuno in a Dead Island 2 thing where I was doing a sponsor that day, and then Saikuno's like, "You want to play with Ellum?" And I was like, "Sure." So we hop in a call, and Ellum was very friendly. I knew him as the Among Us, like Hafu Among Us lobby guy. Like, he was like in that lobby, but I didn't really know him. And then he was so like friendly. And then I actually had passport issues that day, so I had to leave. So he actually thought I didn't like him, because right when he joined, I was like, I gotta go. Yeah. Exactly. He thought that I didn't like him. It's not it was true. I literally had passport problems. I found out that I might not have been able to go to Japan for the first time. So bam, bing, bang, bop. And then it looked like I didn't like you, but it was actually quite the opposite. I never have meant something more than when I said, I'm going to try to come back. Like, usually I'm like, hey, I'm going to try to come back. No, I don't really mean it. I actually was like, I really do want to come back and play more of this game, because Dead Island 2 was actually really cool. Not sponsored, by the way. Just to, sometimes, it was a fun time. And then I was like, oh, I also do want to get to know Ellum, because I always like to make a new friend. And so I was sad to leave. And then, hey, chill with the litter. Okay, sorry, my cats. And then so it seemed like I didn't like you, but I did. You made a great first impression. Second impression, we can talk about that. But first impression was chef's kiss. You should be proud. You have no issue. Now, don't meet people for a second time, though. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing all that. I'm kidding. It was great. First impression of Squeaks. Squeaks is somebody who's too funny. He's so funny, he's intimidating. I know he doesn't like, it's like, no, Pookie's not intimidating. He's actually so witty that I feel intimidated to talk to him. Because he's always cracking a funny joke, like, so quickly. And I'm like, how are you so funny? He's too funny for his own good. And he's a very witty person. Do you think Squeaks fakes his hairline for views? What? That is insane. Miz. I don't remember how or why I ever talked to him. Why did I speak to him for the first time? What happened? I can't remember meeting him. I'll be honest. I've been around a while. I don't know when I met him. Was it online first or was it in person? Oh! The subathon! Oh, I remember being like, why is Mizkif hanging out with my friends? Why is he in call with my friends? I don't know about that guy. And I think when we were in the same call together, I kind of went quiet. I didn't know what to say to him. But then he very quickly I do remember it was during the subathon, and he was around a lot. And I would wake up, look at Discord, and he was just in calls with people. And I'm like, side eye. Who's this guy? So then I think one time we happened to all be in the same call, and then, I think we spoke a couple words, and then he made a couple jokes, and I made a couple jokes back, and then we were like, okay, let's play Smite. And then I didn't like Smite. Why does this guy like Smite? He's funny, though. He's talkative, It's a good time. And then it just kept happening. We're just like, okay, he's here again. And then, yeah. When you left home for the first time, was it awkward whenever you went back? Oh, wow.
You mean
No, not awkward. It was great. I loved going home. I loved my house and everything. So, and I live in the same house, or my parents have the same house since I was a kid. So when I go home, I like jump on the couch and I'm like hugging all the furniture. Oh, Uncle Fuslie started then. Yeah. Miz has a talent in which, and some people have this talent. I would say it's really good. Right off the bat, when they meet you or they meet a new person, they instantly like crack jokes at you, like almost sooner than you're comfortable with, but like they crack a joke with you, and it gives you a lot to work off of, or it makes you feel more comfortable with them. I would say that's like a social talent. Like that's just something like right off the bat, like you're nervous to talk to somebody, but if they start cracking jokes at you or giving you a nickname or something, you immediately have something to like laugh about or go off of. I will say he's good at that. Very, very good at that. And so when he started calling me like Uncle Fuslie and stuff, I was like, oh, Uncle Fuslie. Okay. Yeah, sure. That's me. And then I guess I felt a little bit more comfortable each time. He's good at including people. Very, very inclusive in general as a person. I realize he's just like that. Also, he's very entertaining to be around because he doesn't follow through with a thought ever. He'll just talk and then change topics on you. So you have to get used to it. If I'm ever talking to him in person, and he does it on stream too, so you can probably see it. But just if you're ever talking to him, you ask him a question, and he'll like think about it for a second, and he'll just pivot and be like, "So what do you like to do for fun?" And you're like, "What? We were talking about. I like to do this, this, and this." You have to just like adapt to the direction he takes a conversation. His brain just goes, and then he'll like say something that he was talking about 30 minutes ago. And then his eyes will dart around too. So you're just like, oh, okay. Where are we going? Oh, conversation go that way. And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, I'm done. Cool. I'm like, great. So that was a very interesting thing about him. Very interesting. And then he came to visit LA one time, and then we all went to the OTV pop-up, I remember. And then that was a fun time. I made some friends there. I remember some people were in line for some of the merch there. And there's these 3 guys, and they were super fun. I forgot their names now, but they were really cool. I made some friends there, and then I met them again at TwitchCon. They're like, remember us? And I was like, dude, you guys are the guys from the pop-up. Anyways, shout out to those guys. Frick, I forgot their names. They're awesome. They were great. Super fun. Yeah, if ADHD was an actual person, it would take the form of Mizkif. And then I found out that that one girl that he pretends is his sister wasn't actually his sister, and I couldn't believe it. And he had us fooled. It was insane. Yeah, so he made a good, okay first impression. Ellum made a good first impression. Ludwig, not so much, but then he gave a good second impression. But, I did, and that was chess. That was a whole era. There was a period of time where I played a lot of chess, which was crazy to think about. I remember someone I missed from the chess era was Robert Hess, GM Hess. He's a good dude, super fun. Lesson Hess. We had a whole little podcast together for a day. It was great. He was super fun, and he was also just very patient. And there was this one day I remember I was playing Nate Hill, and before I was playing Nate Hill, I was basically like Alexandra Botez was teaching Nate how to beat me, and was like, hey, I watched their session, and she's gonna play pawn to like this thing. So what you're gonna do is completely throw her off and do the very right hand pawn, and you're gonna push that. She's gonna have no idea what you're doing. Hess immediately calls me when that happens and is like, Leslie, Nate is going to push his pawn to this spot. So you're going to react and push this. And I was like, what? No. And he's like, don't get thrown off. Don't get thrown off by that. And then when it happened, like on the stream, she's like, what? How did she know? Hess, you told her, didn't you? And then he had the smirk on his face. Man, it was awesome. And then we proceeded to have like the wildest game of chess where we both blundered 5 queens. Yeah, it was Botez versus Hess, and we were their pawns, which was the craziest thing. They're teaching us what to do with their, but we were the pawns. Me and Nate Hill. And they were playing chess with each other. Yeah. First impression on hJune was not good. I did not like the dude. Because he was mean to my ex-fiance. I thought. But I found out, I think Harrison was just playing Rust. But we were delicate, and we were like, whoa, that's mean. Why is he shooting you? And so I went in to confront him. I was like, I'm going to go see what this hJune person's all about. And I went to his chat, and I was like, oh, he's kind of nice. Sorry about that. He's actually kind of cool. I didn't like him at first because I thought he was a meanie. I thought he was bully. I was gonna stand up for him. I was gonna stand up for innocent. I was like, stop shooting my fiance in Rust. I'm like, oh, I think he's actually kind of normal. I forgot what it was, but there was some interaction where I remember that I thought Harrison wasn't so nice, and I was like, that is mean. And then I listened to him talk for a bit, and then I went to say hi in his chat, and then he was super nice, and then I was like, may have jumped the gun on the judgment. So it was just, yeah. Was there someone you had first had a bad impression, and then you were like, they're not bad? Yeah, that was Harrison, I think. Harrison, and then probably Lud, and then quite a few people, probably. Trying to imagine who I didn't like. And it wasn't I didn't like them, it was just more of like, my first impression was like, okay, this is how I'm hearing about them. It's just like, not the best. I know, we need your help to make him sing again. Devastating. Everyone needs Harrison singing more. We all remember Fast Car.